All right. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Hopefully, you guys having a blessed and wonderful day. Today, um, was not a good day. I only made $635, but in the end, we're green. So let's talk about it, right? Some days the market's going to give us a lot. Other days the market's going to give us a little. The person that comes in and focuses on your three pillars of success. Pillar number one is our consistency pillar. You trade your plan and stay consistent to that plan day in and day out. Whether you win three trades, lose two, you still got to focus on that same plan, right? The second pillar is actually the consistency vehicle. What that means is you have your plan on pillar one, pillar two comes in, and you stay consistent with that and follow that, right? You don't deviate from that plan at all. The third pillar is our risk management pillar. What that means is when we do come into trading and we do take a loss, we have to be able to withstand that in our account from a safe standpoint so that we can continue to trade. My goal is to be here tomorrow, next week, 5 years from now, 25 years from now, 50 years from now, and to pass this information on and my accounts on to my children because my ceiling is going to be their floor. So in the end, when you come in and you day trade, you swing trade, and you invest, right? That is a very powerful tool. Some people don't day trade, and that's fine. You then use the swing trading branch, and then your leftover profits you funnel into investments. Some people don't like to swing trade, and that's fine. You day trade, and then use the profits of the day trading and funnel it into your retirement account. And there's some individuals, they just have a large abundance of account. They don't want to day trade or swing trade. Then they can focus on investing. And I'm going to show you here today how we can do that. But first and foremost, I just want to show you why I called out some of the day trades that I did today so that you can see that we have a systematic pattern that we trade over and over and over again and how it continuously plays out, right? If you use the three pillars of success. If you fail to use any of them, your probability of winning in the long haul is not good. So I've been doing this for 9 years. I've seen a lot, and the most common trait when folks come in and follow that, you're going to be just fine. So here on this first chart, we're actually looking at this NQ futures, or I'm sorry, ES futures chart, and we actually have right here. In case you don't see it, I'm gonna put the star on the screen. You guys can see it. So coming into the market, we have three major pivots, right? We have a pivot here, we have a pivot here, we have a pivot up here that you can't see, and we got a couple more pivots down here that you can't see off the chart. These are our proprietary pivots that we use, and it calculates previous data to give us high areas of reaction, and that's how we can make money. Then you combine it and smash it in like a snowball, and you use Swingmaster Pro along with your pivots, right? Now, what happens is look, what color is the candles here? Does everybody see it? The candles are green. If we have green candles on a pivot, we want to box it in, which I call our house method. You box it in, and then you take a breakout. If the candles are red, you box it in, and then you take the break to the downside, right? So we're giving ourselves a bias. A lot of people make day trading or trading in general very confusing and hard to understand. So that's why I come in and made it so easy that even a middle schooler could understand this because it's color-coded patterns. If you just follow true to it and you trade consistently, use proper risk management, you'll be just fine. So today, we took a ES breakout, bounce off our pivot right here. I called it a breakout. And as you can see, this thing shot all the way up here, but real short term, 67.44. It went up here to about 67.50. That right there is about $250 net profit, right? And within that, that's an easy money move right there. Could you have gotten a piece of that move? Some people got more, some people got less. So there was one winning trade. The next trade we called was this candle closed above the pivot, and we said we could take a breakout there, but then we followed this other candle down, which came right there just shy of the pivot, took the breakout right here. Here would have been your stop loss, and guess what happens? Boom! There's another move. Let's just say you took it from the top, 59, up here to 66. There's another 300 bucks or so. I'm trading one ES contract. That was my two trades on ES today before I wrapped it up because my goal was to get 1 or 2 winning trades a day and walk away. I did take 4 today, but the goal is for someone new coming in to come in and get 1 or 2 winning trades and then wrap it up and go enjoy your day. So if you do trade more with us, we did call a pivot breakout. We did call a pivot breakout right here, and the same thing, that push up right there. There's another 100, 200 bucks. There's another pivot breakout right there. Another 100, 200 bucks. Here's another pivot breakout right there. Another couple $100, right? We do have other people. You can see these. I see in the comments. If you are watching this, just comment where you're watching this from. There is another vehicle that we do use inside the same tool. It is our green candle, green arrow. So when this candle closes, you take that, you put your stop out down there, you measure your move, and boom, price hits it. So it's a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more forgiving than maybe being precisely entering and exiting off the pivots, but it's a great method, all right? Now, that's how we did on ES. Let's come down to this chart right here. This is NQ. Same thing on NQ. Here's a pivot right here. Here's a pivot here. There's a pivot way up there, right? What happened today? So we have a 2-minute bar, right? I'm on a 2-minute time frame. I saw someone ask in the comments, and I took a breakout right here. Down here's my stop out, and boom, there was a nice winning trade. Unfortunately, I got stopped out about right there, and then my next trade on NQ, we hit this pivot. It was looking too juicy not to take. Took this trade right there, and boom, pushed up. So I took 4 trades today on NQ and ES, and that's how I only made $635, give or take. And hey, you'll never hear me complain with a green bag, right? Because there's 90% of people that get red bags or are failing and losing, right? I like to say we are in the 10% club, and we do this live every single day. There is a QR code that you can check down below and check everything out, or send me a message in the comments. Just comment BMT and we'll get someone to reach out to you, right? So, and then we're waiting for another setup, right? I didn't take this one, but then there's a breakout. Some people took this breakout. This don't look like much, but that's 20 NQ points. That's enough for you to take a high probability trade. Here's another breakout right there. Boom. There's another winning trade. And then you got that same laid back setup. Some people trade the green candles, green arrows. You would have gotten 1 entry right there, and you got stopped out for a loss. That does happen in trading if you took that. And then you took this green candle, green arrow. Boom, there's your winner. Here's another green candle, green arrow. Boom, there's a winner. And you can see the time right there. I try to get you in and out in an hour or less a day on the day trading side. Preferably in the first 30 minutes, but sometimes we take a little bit longer because we got to wait for the futures to look out. So with that being said, we do trade stock options as well. You coming over here to this chart right here where the star's at, and guess what? Same pattern, same setup on the stock option side. Check out what happened, right? Called a breakdown underneath here. Boom! There's a nice winning trade. Then the candle turned green. Called a breakout right there. Boom! Price pushes up. Then you got a breakdown right there. This looks like little drops, but that's $2 on the share side. That's enough to capture 2 deltas. And if you trade a weekly expiration, that's anywhere from 10 to 30% ROI. I like to say singles and doubles is what grows the account. So that was a great trade right there. You could have gotten on Tesla, and then the true move right here. This most recent push up. You got another breakout right here, and that I call this a boom power bar. You see that? When you get something that pushes up so far, so fast, man, you can't even take profits fast enough or set your trail stop, but that's a good situation to be in. So the last trade that we took, I'm going to switch to another chart. We did take some SPX calls here this morning. We had a green candle, green arrow. Did come off one of our levels, called out the calls here. And look what happened. You know what we like to say? Boom! Check this out. Easy money right there. The problem with this today, for me, being fully direct and open with you guys, is that I only made $180 off this trade. Why? Because we're on an 8-day win streak. So I've let the team know, look, I'm scaling back. I'm going lighter because I know I don't have a 100% win rate. I know a loss is coming up sooner or later. And with that being said, I like to scale back and let the probability in my favor. If I would have traded my 5 contracts, that would have easily been a $500-600 trade. But it's all good, and it did end up stopping me out like right there before this huge push up. But there was one person that sent me a message, and they ended up getting they put 500 bucks in, and they sold out at $1,200 up here. So they made what, 200 some percent. I love it. You know, I want us all to win. So that's the day trading side. If you want to go focus on the investing side, I'm gonna pull up Apple because everybody knows what Apple is, and we're gonna put this on the weekly time frame. And this is another thing that we have that we do trade with. Imagine sitting here waiting for high probability setups to happen, but you don't day trade, so you feel left out, and you don't swing trade because you're still learning, and whatever it may be, or maybe you just don't want to swing trade. That's totally fine. This vehicle's for you. This is the investing phase, right? So check it out. If we scroll back here, and I'm going to circle every single buy. This is a Swingmaster Pro AI buy setup right here. You got your buy. I'm going to circle it. Right there's a buy. 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 All right. So now our first buy is at $67, right? Guess what happened to price? 67. It went up to $123. What I like to tell people, if you go up 5-10% on the share side, you could put a limit order in right above break even, and now you're in a risk-free trade. So you could have been able to capture this whole move, or you would have got a piece of it. So let's say you only have $1,000. You put 500 bucks in here. 500 to right there, that's 1K. All right. So now sell out, let your $500 ride, right? Your $500 basis point still way down here, and now you got 1K on the side, right? Now you come into another buy, you put another 500 in. Now you got 1K here. So now your cost entry comes into about, we'll just say give or take right there. So now when this pushes up 166 to 200, up here to 260, now your 1K, right? Your 1K is about worth $1,500 up over here. So then what I will tell you to do, sell out, right? $1,000, bring your $1,000 back. Now you still have $500 left over. So now you have $1,500 setting off on the side while you still have $500 invested in the market. What's good about this strategy is also, check this out. You see these little blue bubbles behind the E? You get paid a dividend just for holding these shares. So now you might get 4%, 8%, 12%, 16%, 20%. So now your investment might be up another 20% from holding that original $500 that you had in here. But the true power comes starting. So now you got $500 in Apple, and you got $1,500 on the side, right? And now we're going to bring in another chart. Everyone knows what Bitcoin is, GBTC, right? You can buy Bitcoin in the stock market. I prefer that way for simplicity. I do not like the DeFi way as much. I do trade it that way, but I prefer not to because you got to go from this wallet to that wallet, and you mess up a number, you don't copy it right, and you could lose your stuff in a transaction. So the easy way, where most of my money's at, is in my stock market account. So this mimics and replicates exactly what Bitcoin's doing, right? I'm going to put a buy here. I'll put a buy here. I'll put a buy here. I'm going to put a buy here. I'm going to put a buy here. I'm going to put a buy here. Check it out. Now, remember we're still $500 into Apple. Well, guess what? Bitcoin doesn't pay a dividend, but it's more volatile. It's now becomes more of a growth stock. So now you're diversifying your portfolio. So you got your first buy here at $7, and it goes up to $14, right? So let's just say you put 1K in right here, 1K. Up here, it's at 2K. You know what I'm about to tell you? Sell out, let 1K ride, and now you have $2,500 profit while you still got 500 bucks into Apple. And let's say Apple gives you a buy, use another 500 in Apple. Now you got 1K in Apple. So now our account now has 2K sitting off to the side. Well, we started our journey with 1K. Now our account's at 2K, meaning we 1x our account. Plus, we now have shares and assets that we're holding to either grow our retirement account or give our kids down the road. All right. So then you get another buy right here at the $7. So we bring another 1K in. Now we have 2K into this. Guess what? For $11, up here to 22. Now your 2K is worth 4K right here. At that point, you know what I'm about to tell you? Sell out and let 1K ride. Now you got 3K up here. So guess what? You had 3K plus the 1K left over from the buy. Now we have 4K sitting off to the side while we have 1K right here. As it keeps pushing up, your 1K might have turned into 3K again. So now we got 3K up here. Guess what? Sell out, let 1K ride. Now you got 2K. Now the 4K becomes 6K, right? And you get the gist of it. As price comes up, you might put another 1K in. So now you got 2K into the market right here. And at 35, up here to 55. Now it goes about a little bit more than 50%. So now your 2K is worth 3K. You could sell out again, right? And let 1K ride and bring 2K back up to the pot. So now you're still at, I believe we at 7K now, right? Price comes back down, give or take. We buy in again. Let's say now we have a larger account, and let's say we put in 2K. Now we have a total of 3K here. So now our account's back at 4K. We got at 1K sitting in Apple. We got 3K sitting in Bitcoin. Well, guess what happens? 14 goes up here to 28. Now your 3K is at 6K right here. You know what I'm about to tell you? Sell out, let 2K ride, bring 4K back. Now we have 8K in our account, and as we keep pushing up, guess what happens? Your 1K becomes 2K up here, right? And then we come back down. You put in another grand. Now you got 3K in the account. Up here, your 3K is almost 6K again. Guess what? Sell out, and now you're sitting at an account that's over 10K of profits. You've grown in less than 4 years. You just grown your account from 1K to 10K, and you're invested 2K in Bitcoin, 1K in Apple. Now you bring in another vehicle in this. So now you got 3 companies you're trading. Are you getting where I'm going with this? And that's how we invest. So if you don't day trade, you can do this strategy right here. It's much, much slower pace. But the good thing on that is all the investments I make, I do call out in our insider tips group. If you do want to get started in that, just put a beast mode in the chat and we could send you the link for that specific group. It's powerful, you know. You can get started for less than $1 a day, but it's real powerful. Now you come into the traditional swing trades, right? And you can check the QR codes on here when we wrap it up. We're going to go to the daily time frame. Everybody knows what SPY is. Green candle, green arrows. We already talked about this, right? Check it out. What if I told you swing trading now becomes so easy that you just wait for a green candle, green arrow? All right, right here's a green candle, green arrow. You might get stopped out. Green candle, green arrow. Swing trade means you're holding it for multiple days. There's a winner. Green candle, green arrow. 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 There's a winner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 wins, 1 loss. 6 and 1 over. Sorry, I had to sneeze. 6 and 1 over the last 2.5, 3 months, right? So imagine you putting in $500 or $1,000 per swing trade, right? And on the loss, like you still might have won this trade too if you bought 4 weeks of time, depending where your stop was. But let's just say you lost it, and let's say you lost 25% and you make 25%. A real easy equation. Let me find my calculator here and show you why risk management is crucial and why it's one of our pillars. So we put in $1,000 per trade. We lose $250 or make $250. Unfortunately, on some of these winners right here, you're going to make probably 50% or 100%, right? But I'm just going to say 25 and 25. So in 3 months, you have 6 trades that you make 25% ROI on. It's 150% ROI. The one loser, 25%. Guess what? In 3 months or less, you just turned $1,000 into about almost like $2,250, $2,250. Trading the same pattern, the same symbol. Now imagine you watch 4 or 5 stocks. The probability stays the same, right? Let's see what 6 divided by 7 is, because we went 6 and 1, 85%. You see this probability, 86%. We're actually right on par of what our probability states that we're going to get. It's not 100%. It is 80 to 90%. You see 85%, right? So that is why you must use proper risk management. Anyway, it is Thursday. I'm going to do something I've never done before. Tomorrow morning, if I get a couple people to comment Beast Mode in the comments, I'm going to open up our live stream to the public here on YouTube. You can watch it 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We are wild, we are crazy, but you can see all this in action with us. Then we'll do a recap, and I'll give you back your weekend. So let's finish the day off tomorrow with the cherry on top. It's been a blessed week so far. Let's continue on forward with it tomorrow, and let's continue to have fun. Let's make money and start living the life that we deserve. With that being said, you guys have a blessed one. Catch me on the next one. Beast Mode out.